All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the USDGA Snyder Park Memorial Charity Open Biannual Tournament match game. This is going to be full round one coverage of our lead card here. How's the weather out there today?
Yep, the weather's been pretty good enough for a Honda Civic to show up in the middle of our, flash photography going on.
All right, so here's the Snyder Park layout. This is a top-tier pro-level course. Here we have our leader here, Corey Wagner. He was 10-time world champion in 2018. It's going to be good to see him coming back here.
Yeah, it's been great. And then here's Grant. He's been, spending loads of money on his discs this year, and so he's extra prepared for the game this year.
And yeah, absolutely. And here we see the players kind of gathering here at hole one for this tee time here. Nerves are pretty strong in the air, as you can see. Everyone's just really excited to get this lead card going. So what's your play here on hole one, par 4, 378 feet?
So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw from the white square and try to loop it around that one. And really, I ended up cutting into the green tree there and just, curved it back to the right.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
I think that's going to give you a good look there to get through that gap here. So, Grant going the forehand here. That might turn it over. Oh, it's not going to turn over for him. It's going to be just going dead straight. He's going to have a tough look from there.
Yeah, Corey really tried to curve that one back onto the fairway, but the tree was just not agreeing with him right there.
Grant can't even see the basket here. Let's see. Can he fight through? Oh, it might be going into the woods on the other side. We'll see where that land was.
Yeah, might have to go doing a little searching.
All right, shot number 3 here.
Corey with the wussy throw, but definitely a good form.
That might be testing the far OB road. There might be. We'll have to see. Looking for the disc. This is top tier pro level right here. Coming in and out of the woods all the time.
Yeah, if you think about it, I would say about 90% of all gameplay is spent in the trees.
Absolutely, especially in the pro level.
Yep, definitely in the trees, looking for various shiny things.
What would you say the average disc lost by the pro on a course like this is?
Definitely 78-ish%.
So their bag's getting lighter as the day goes on.
Oh yeah, no, they show up with about 1,000 pounds of equipment and leave with about 10. So it's a pretty significant loss for them at the end of the day.
And we're seeing here just these two players are just really struggling early on this top tier pro level course here. Both see Corey throw in here, both picking up a bogey for hole one, which is not uncommon to see here on this Snyder Park course.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing a lot of warm-up throws throughout this round one.
All right, hole number 2, par 3, 305. This one just kind of looks like you got straight up the gut here, and then through this gap here in this split tree. We'll see if our players can lace this gap.
Corey definitely drills that palm leaf right there, and I feel bad for the palm leaf, but it seems like it really worked out, kind of. And Grant has really been doing great with his form. That lawnmower definitely pissed him off, so he's going straight for him right now.
In trouble. We'll see if we can get any complaints out of the park staff on today. Going for perfect hyzer. Going right up to the basket. He'll have a look for his par.
Yep. Right here, lining up with his approach disc.
And you can see the gallery gathering out there, bringing just the biggest vehicles to bring as many people to this match as possible. It was a ticket sold out, I believe.
Yeah. Man, look at Corey here trying to pull something off. Clearly fails, but
man, almost beaming the camera guy in the forehead. We could have had a major injury there. Hole 2.
This is a pretty dangerous sport. Back in the 1800s, they used to throw these with blades on them. I don't just decapitate people. So I mean, it's a pretty vigorous sport.
I think that was called wartime.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, that's it.
And he went for the camera guy again. That was such a, he's definitely an aggressive player.
I would say Corey is out here for blood on the course today, picking up an extra 2 strokes. Not uncommon here for elite players here. Hole number 3, over the water. What do you think? What do you think our guys are going to do here?
I think they're going to go for it.
Oh yeah, going to go straight over the water? Oh no,
You know what?
no.
I think Corey has different ideas for today.
Going up to the red tee. Now that's a smart play. I think that's a really good call on their part to take the water completely out of play by just going to a completely different tee.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to work out for him. I feel like.
You just don't see a lot of other, top level players doing that. I just don't think I don't even think they think that's a consideration. I think our players are doing some really smart calls here so far.
Yeah, Corey's here, standing on a cliffside, about ready to throw into the green. Lines it up pretty good.
Yep.
Excellent approach shot. Just like to say thank you to Nike Blue Shoes for sponsoring this event.
Yep.
You see there the gallery forming there in the back. Yep. Definitely a crowded day out there today.
It's a shame we missed lunchtime. Otherwise, all the gazebos would be all smoky and filled with great meats and.
Oh yeah, work of that hole. Moving on to hole number 4. Now we have another water hole. Do you think they'll take the amateur line and try to go over the water here?
They missed the last one. I think they're going to go for this. No, definitely not.
No.
I definitely could never have called that.
Yeah, wow. I definitely want us saving all that $20 that he spent on those discs for sure. Spoiler alert, he loses that disc later.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a very dramatic event.
Yeah, this was the last run for that yellow leopard. Playing with that water, he gets the turnover, lands right in the fairway, making easy work of this beautiful signature hole here at Snyder Park.
Yeah, Corey trying to get some distance, but the wind was just not cooperating with him today.
Yeah, definitely fighting against Mother Nature on this one. A big hyzer turn does not flip up for him. He's going to have a pretty tough look for birdie. Look at that perfect layup.
Corey going for gold.
Definitely staying in the safe zone there. Right here, perfect look. No way he's going to miss this one. Oh.
And it just clips the branch. It just reaches out and grabs it right from underneath.
I tell you what, I think I heard he was starting a group of signatures to try to get that tree cut down. I think he's going for revenge on that one.
I think you're right.
I think if this world needs anything, it's fewer trees.
Fewer trees certainly would save the planet, I think. Corey is definitely racking up the points. I think he's going for gold.
I don't know if Grant can really keep up with him. All right, par 3, 260 feet. Now, this is a big landfill here to your right. What do you think the play is here?
Corey, I was talking with him earlier, and he said he's going to try and nail the top of the 5 there.
Okay.
And, from the looks of that throw, he definitely butchers that shot.
You're absolutely right. Oh, cameraman King with the finger in the frame. Definitely.
We definitely going to fire that guy.
He's not invited back for round 2. Doing a spike hyzer there forehand. We'll see if that puts him in good position. Definitely got the distance, but is it in a good landing zone? Oh, Grant with a huge hedge here. Not able to even get a look at the basket. He's having to go high hyzer over. Can he come down directly in? Oh, and he completely misses the target.
A lot of disc golf giants out there would have never even gotten it over that hedge.
Absolutely true.
So definitely got some arm strength going on.
Very much. One of the things he's known most for. Other thing, putting 100% inside circle 1 right here. We're definitely going to see a good putt. Absolutely cashes it. It's just great to see pro-level players out here.
Yep, Corey behind the bush here.
With an illegal step
Can he
off.
pull it off? Oh, man. No, just undershoots it.
I can't believe the rest of the card's not going to play. He did not even mark his spot, just walking all over the course. This is...
illegal gameplay all over the place. It's really a shame.
So we're here at the Snyder Major Open Memorial Championship. We have famous Corey here, two-time world champion here at Snyder.
What's up?
You know, if there's a lot of people at home that say, how can I get as good as Corey? You know, is that attainable goal for them?
You know, I would say definitely not. I am so much better than they think they are. And it's all because of Christ right here. It just brings it to me home, right in my soul.
Beautiful. So on hole 6 here, you know, we know you crushed that forehand, you know, longest in the world last year. I just what's your play here on 6?
So I'm gonna throw it as hard as I can. That's about as simple as it gets.
Thank you.
Here we are at the U.S. Open at Snyder Park with Grant. And he's really putting up the hurt on Mr. Wegner over there. So we're on hole 6 now. What's the strategy, Cotton?
The strategy here is to sports harder, obviously, than the other competitors are sportsing. Because I sports the hardest when it comes to sportsing.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. That's probably words of wisdom right there. So what would you say is the key to living your best life here on the disc golf course?
I would say selling out early, making as much money as possible, and having no self-respect.
So would you say you're someone with a lot of self-control with all the money you've earned?
I have not. I have only bought things that I could not afford, which I would recommend as great financial advice for everyone who suddenly comes into money that they did not previously have.
Well, we're so happy to have you here with us at hole 6, Snyder Park, Grant.
Good to be here.
It's just really good to get up close with the players and really just get a feel for their personal lives.
Yeah, and I was having a conversation with Grant earlier about his selling out, and you know, really, he is just bringing his A game to the table with that.
I agree. So, looks like we're having some struggles here early on 6. That's probably going to add a whole nother point to the scorecard here. Let's see what Grant can capitalize on this. And oh no, he's going straight for the out of bounds. It's really going to rack up the score. You know. Oh, what is this? Re-teeing? Is this even legal? I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen anything quite like this.
Corey clearly frustrated with that throw, throwing his arms up. I've never seen such aggression on the golf course.
And going far left, these are going to be some really safe drives here. Nowhere near the basket. But I guess it's better than their first throws.
I don't know how they got away with that. The referees on the course are really just taking it easy out there.
Look at that absolute park job on the approach shot. It's really good to see these pro level players on their top of their game here.
Grant lining up a forearm shot, absolutely crushing that glide.
Now, there's just not any other player that can get that kind of arm speed on that approach shot right there.
Corey just coming short again. You know, first night is definitely not his best rounded numbers there.
Now I hear tell, you know, that Corey's strength is the back nine. What, have you heard anything like that?
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of rumors about that, and you know, we'll have to stay tuned to see how that pans out for him. Right now, he's really behind.
You know, it's the opening round of the season. You know, there's a lot of nerves going on out there, and it's just sometimes these top tier level players, you know, they do their best, and it's always better than everyone else somehow.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. No, I've never seen this level of playing before.
So hole 7 here, you got to get over this hump right here. The pavement on the left there plays OB, so these guys are going to go for a really safe shot and just drive it directly into the dirt.
Yeah, no, that is definitely a bunker shot. They are crushing it against that hill. The last time they were able to somehow weave that through, and it didn't seem to work out as well, but we'll have to see how this pans out for them.
You know, there's a lot of people that say that didn't actually happen because it was not caught on film, but I was there, and I definitely saw it.
It was impressive shooting that day.
And that looking like a good approach shot. We'll have to see how close he was. And look at that park job. Right up there.
Yep, definitely brought up his A game with that approach shot. Corey just whizzing right past the basket there.
I think that was a play for the mental side of the game because he's just showing Grant that he does not care whether Grant's doing better or worse than him. Corey is just going to play his own game and just not be fazed by any other player.
Man, the crowd is going absolutely nuts with shots like that today.
You know, those big 2 to 3 foot range putts are really hard to get. You know, these guys here are making it look easy, but at home, I know everyone watching knows it's a very difficult shot. Those tap in pars. Here we are, Corey picking up 9 for this front 7 there. Hole number 8 here, pretty straight on. The woods on the right tends to catch a lot of discs here. We'll see. We'll see if we can stay to the left here. Oh,
Clearly, Corey is just gunning for the trees there.
All right, you're good.
I think there was an angry beaver in there, and it just upset him, and he went right for it. Just completely throws off the game, but he does not care.
turning left. Is that going to test the OB? No, it stays safe. All right, he's going to have a good look. Definitely going to get a par on this one, I feel.
Corey going for the mid-range.
He's shown that he is deadly with this mid-range on this course. Perfect approach. Look at that upshot. You can see all 50 of those years of playing experience coming through today.
And you know, I was also talking to Corey, and when he talks about those 50 years, you know, I think he was holding back a lot of the experience that he had growing up too.
Oh,
He is really showing the true skill of a master out here.
absolutely. Now, I hear before he was doing this, he was playing a number of other sports. Was he talking to you about that?
Yeah, no, he dabbled in some surgery and cheerleading. He picked up some water aerobics with the old women in the morning.
All right, we're ready.
And, you know, he even flew to space, but disc golf is where his heart really is.
It's just, you know, it just seems like no matter, these are athletes here, you know, not only on the disc golf course, but just in every aspect of life.
Mental giants all the way around.
Absolutely. Hole number 9, finishing up the front 9 here. What is your play?
You know, I think play is going to be to just throw it as hard as he can. You know, he really nails that strategy.
That for sure is what he is known for, and he's going maybe in the 50 to 80 foot driving foot range there. You know, a distance no one will ever be able to throw. Absolutely, these top tier arms here.
So, Corey, how is this front 9?
Definitely crushing it. Best throws I've had. Definitely no redos. We'll never have to do that.
All right, so the competition. You think you're gonna pull it on top here?
Grant, that sellout. I sell out so much harder than him. He doesn't even know.
All right, see you on the back 9.
Will do.
That is one of those, you know, unknown secrets about Corey. I never would have guessed that he could sell out harder than Grant.
A feat to be sure, because we know Grant sold out,
Hey, Grant,
I believe, at age
So
2.
did pretty great on the first half.
Yeah.
What do you think of your competition right now?
I wouldn't like to comment on, whether or not my competition is taking steroids or not. I would just like to say it's really good that we're all out here playing the game. I just think it's all that we're all out here having a good time.
So what do you think his comment that he sells out harder than you?
I was selling out before it was cool.
Oh man, that sounds like some pretty serious competition going on right there.
No problem.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you on the next round.
See you.
Yep.
It's just really great to see the respect that these players have for each other. Always painting each other in positive lights, even though they are longtime rivals.
Definitely. And that whole comment about steroids, he may not want to comment, but that is definitely breakfast, lunch, and dinner for Mr. Corey over here. I think that's the reason he has such arm strength.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It just goes to show that money can buy talent and happiness.
It certainly does, and he is one happy son of a bitch.
Yep.
All right, so we're coming up here, making the safe layup play. Absolutely. Other players, may go for it and miss and veer off and never be able to recover from the woods. But Corey here showing just that, next level play of playing smart and always cashing in.
Definitely, Grant was definitely playing very well on that round.
Mm-hmm.
I think I even saw him, during the break, selling out again. I mean, just really never takes a break.
Just good to see that kind of dedication from these top tier players.
He really is very dedicated.
What are you throwing there, Corey?
It's a shark. It's the same one. It's mid-range.
Oh, okay.
Definitely gonna go super far.
Definitely haven't.
Look at that velocity.
See that? That was
Complete deforestation there by Corey. Now hole 10 here, 260 something feet here. I think this is going to play to his naturally left finishing discs here with that mid range. What do you think?
I think you're right. Absolutely. Oh man, he really throws that high.
I'd heard he just purchased that disc, and it maybe hasn't been fully broken in yet. So I think that was just definitely a manufacturing error.
Definitely, we'll be having to contact him about that.
Absolutely. So Corey here, I believe now he was the legendary ace run on this hole 2 years ago. Is that true?
This is absolutely true. I mean, he crushed it the last go round, and I was there to witness every last little glorious moment of it. And that tree was not there last time, and so that actually was a game-winning throw for him.
Okay.
And I think even for Grant, that tree was not there either.
I believe that one grew over the weekend between, yes. So
definitely challenging their game a lot.
Gonna have to look at the rule books on how fast these trees are allowed to grow on the fairway. Right here. Now this is, scrambling here between the trees is a putt he's known for, and I would say there's no way in hell he's gonna miss this. He cashes these every time as if like seemed to must have been a
Corey warming up his arm here.
Look at that power.
Lays it right in.
Absolutely. You can't find that power in the amateur circuit.
No, you really can't. Grant is just about to show Corey what kind of competition he really brought today.
All right, coming in, we see Grant pick up another one as well as Corey. We will see what this back nine has. It's still anyone's game here, as we are far under the par here for this course.
Yeah,
I believe the average here for the card was plus 50, and these guys are clearly way under that.
Oh yeah, definitely crushing it out here. And last time these guys just absolutely murdered this particular basket here. Hole 11, definitely one of the easiest ones for these guys. Everyone else just throws them straight at the trees, but
Absolutely. Grant having no problem lacing these gaps here. We'll see as he just goes straight for the basket.
that tree was not there. I'm pretty sure that one was not there either.
running after the disc, he may be concerned that that one's gone.
This morning, I saw him warning us
Good to
on the
go.
course, and there was definitely no tree there. He absolutely killed it.
Well, coming out for this safe play back in the fairway. We'll see what these two discs looks like there.
Clearly here, taking Grant 2 shots to get to where Corey made his drive. Truly, the professional here is in red today.
Some unprofessional ad-libbing from the cameraman. We'll have to edit that out later.
And a hush comes over the crowd as Grant Barnhill lines up a shot. Silence, everyone. And look at that beautiful throw. And he picks up his bag like a true loser and walks down to find his competitors cheating frisbee. I keep getting like,
You know, that is some real smack talk. I'm gonna have to talk to him.
Well, it's just, these guys here, they've been playing together a long time. They're really close friends, It's just great to see some camaraderie out there, on the golf course.
Yep. Yep.
This hole, known as the spider hole. Now, how many deaths did we have in the last year's competition alone?
I think we had 3.5.
3.
If I remember right, it was a half or 3/4.
Which half?
The lower half for sure. Someone's lower half died off, just right on the course. Fell right off of him. He's nothing but a torso and arms. No brains, though. Definitely no brains.
So it turns out here we found Corey's throw with the questionably legal shark, which is not any Innova stamp I'm familiar with. Turns out he threw it off the tee, and it parked it right next to the next hole. I gotta say that's worth at least 10 points.
And would you say that's definitely or definitely not a regulation frisbee?
It fell out of the bed of a Redneck's truck, which I think is where all true champion discs come from.
All right. Thanks for your comments.
From what I understand, he makes it sound like he doesn't have an absolute collection of them, but I think Grant actually only owns redneck pickup truck disc golfs. And, that may be the reason and the very secret to his success out here.
Still claiming to have spent $20 total on his disc golf, collection. Perhaps it's a tax write-off to avoid the IRS.
That is a good point. I've never really thought.
All right, we're live.
Regardless of their financial decisions, we see our two players here just going to make an absolute cakewalk of hole number 12 here, going straight up and just finishing just a little bit to the left. Grant going with the rare backhand, landing in perfect position, making around the bando.
We're going for the forearm for this one. Let's see how that
He has
pans
a
out.
deadly forearm, never misses. This is truly going to be a special shot. Oh.
And it looks like we're back to hunting again. These guys have really been lowering the statistic for how many lost discs are out there in the grass these days. I mean, they find everything.
Absolutely. And Grant showing us that Spike Heiser line that really he only has the ability to get, an average of maybe 10, 15 feet in front of him.
Or just tossing the color orange all over the place.
I mean, if you could say anything about Corey's game, is that he knows what disc how to play to his strengths for every hole, which is why he has such a wide array of 3 discs in his bag.
I asked him why he flips that thing around in his hand, and he said it brings him back to his childhood of when his grandmother would throw him in a sack and just toss him around. And I think he really relies on inspiration like that to gain the plus 14 that he's at right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. I believe it was Shakespeare who said, "What don't kill you make you more strong." I think that was him.
Yeah, I believe you quoted that exactly.
Strong words, you know. Just great to see perseverance on this hole.
You know,
All right, you're good.
from what I've heard, there are now, as of this game, 2 leopards hidden in the trees off to the right.
Absolutely.
And as dangerous an animal as they are, it would behoove anyone to stay away from that forest.
I would say so, and I believe those discs have no name on them, no phone number to call. But if anyone finds them, please, send them back to here, because they belong to us. So, shout out to that.
Sweet.
Grant here switching up his approach disc on us.
Oh, this is a deadly accurate disc. He only brings this out for special occasions. Going to absolutely ace run this.
And I really thought from the camera angle, I thought he was just going right in the basket there.
We'll have to fix that one in post to make it look like it went in. Corey cashing, deadly at the 12-foot range. Never missing a putt from there for sure.
Yep.
Leaving his disc in there to intimidate the other players, and it works.
That was holy cow. I've never seen that kind of tactic actually work.
Playing the mental game and clearly gaining the upper hand on that hole as he gets a stroke on the card. Hole 14. Lots of woods on this hole. It's really just a straight up the shot fairway driver or mid-range for a 263. What do you think Corey's going with here?
I think that the grass is all he's aiming for right now. And he nails the tall grass and lands in the short.
Absolutely. A perfect throw, for sure.
Flawless strategy. I've never seen it work.
Just
So
go in there. I guess we're skipping over Grant's drive. Got a good approach. Grant here, magically in the middle of the fairway.
It is truly impressive. I think he's got some kind of telepathic ability to just...
Going for that white disc again, going to just make easy work of this approach shot, and he's got it parked for a guaranteed birdie. Or par.
Corey raising it off the chains there.
They call those disc catchers, and I just don't think they live up to their name, if you know what I mean.
No, I think there might be a legal suit in the future as to the naming.
Grant here coming up to make an easy par, even though the drive was not captured on video. Coming in, you see the gap between these two players is narrowing as this game is
Corey, I'm
ramping
gonna
up.
need your 10-time world champion expert advice over here. A lot of people say that starter packs are a really good way to start out. I know professionals like yourself would never use something so low into base.
Definitely not. I have never been to some kind of illegal operation in the back of a Big Five before to pick up some starter packs.
I just want to know, how upset are you when you are on a professional course like this and you find a starter pack in of a disc how to play right on the fairway where you're trying to concentrate on your next big career win?
Well, I think that people like that are very dishonest and should be just completely kicked from the sport at all, ever.
Strong words.
Yes, indeed. It's my feelings.
So Grant, when you come to a professional course, and I mean like absolutely elite course like this, what are your thoughts when you find pieces of trash like that?
Well, my
On the
competitor gave this to me. We've got everything you need to play disc golf. It's actually got all like the rules in here and like what each disc means. And I had no idea what that meant. And he told me that I should probably throw it away, but I'm keeping this, man. Like I need to read this. I've never really heard of par. I don't know what that is, but I think it's something that's worth looking into.
Are you more of a hole-in-one kind of guy?
Is the hole the thing we throw for? Are we trying to get a... How does the scoring system... Is high good? I don't really know.
You know, I think you're right. The higher the score, the better.
Oh, well, then I'm winning then.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Clearly underestimating his opponent there. He is not actually winning with the higher points.
A lot of confusion out there on this first round here. Understandable, you know, especially with the
Corey,
humidity.
Just checking the scores on UDisc. See where he is.
You know, I think he might have been checking all the sellouts that he's been working on over this last couple minutes.
Can you make it around?
They say Corey's net worth on every hole is $25 million. Is that true?
Yep.
Going here with a leopard. Again, really trusting that disc. That's been a staple in his bag for at least, you know, a week and a half, maybe 2. Long time. Going for the Spikeheiser through the trees. A very rare line. We just don't see amateurs with that kind of power out here on this course.
Grant lining up for another incredible shot.
And that's
Look
going to
at him
sit
just
down
send
for
it
him.
straight for those trees.
Really going to have an easy approach there with no difficulty whatsoever. Corey here, trusting his mid-range. Really a disc that's gone the distance for him.
And he just sends it into next year.
That might be the longest mid-range throw I've ever seen. Grant here, trusting this disc to flip over perfectly is... Oh, it's going... Oh! Into
it's
the
gone.
woods. He's
Look
running
at him
after
chase
it,
that
folks.
thing.
I don't know if anyone's going to ever find that disc again. And it turns out here,
And it's lost.
you know,
And it's lost.
we just got a
Taking it
message
from
in
there,
here.
taking it from there.
That leopard is gone with Corey's leopard from last round. This is truly a leopard eater group of trees.
Corey just great.
All right, yep.
After it went way OP, we picked up a disc from a local player, Common Mid-Range, PDGA approved, which is definitely the league we're a part of.
Oh, yeah.
Grant showing that he's got some serious fans there. You know, always there to hand him a disc when he loses one. Which, let's be honest, happens a lot. Now, he has a pair of gardening gloves in the back of his pocket. What do you think he needs to carry those around for?
You know, from what I hear, it's charity work. He goes out into the middle of these spider-infested forests and searches for everyone's discs so that he can send them back to their owners.
Wow.
I have yet to hear that any of them have actually made it to the owners yet. We'll have to follow up with him on that one.
We'll have the graphics of our faces.
It does seem a little suspicious that someone who sells out so hard and so often would do anything of charity for anyone else besides himself.
You know, it could be a PR thing. I know he was struggling with some of that earlier in the year.
And here we get to get a good look at the form of these players. Top tier in slow motion. Now, I want everyone amateur watching this to go home and try to recreate these shots, and they just will not look as professional and as crisp as these guys.
And it's all about the look. We really cannot copycat that any better.
Go ahead. All right.
All right, Corey here going for his shot number 2, making easy work of this hole here.
All right.
Grant lining up for an approach shot.
Is it going to go in? Oh, it just
Looks
goes
so close.
Right
We're
side.
waiting for one of these majestic creatures to just nail one
Absolutely.
from such a high, distance.
Mhm.
Clearly, no one is doing any better than even Corey right there.
Really making those 2-foot putts look
All right,
easy.
go ahead.
Oh, and a
Grant
floater.
just zooms right past the basket. I
Was he
wonder
even
if he's-
going for the right basket?
I think he was aiming for a different one. The referee really just stuck it to him on that one. I think there's some kind of dispute.
And just in here, we realized these baskets are not in regulation. They all should be an inch shorter. So all of these should have been going in.
They really should have. And I think that a lot of these scores that we're seeing out here are just completely, falsified.
Absolutely.
All right,
Well, we
Grant,
see
while
here
we're
17
sitting here
is
waiting
we're
for
unable
hole
because there's
16
just such a big
open up.
crowd here. So
So
our
how
players,
did
I
you get
believe,
your
are just going to
sponsors?
go to 18 and call it a day.
My sponsor is water straight from the tap, which is a great sponsor because every time I need water, I just open up the tap and there it is. And especially when I'm out on the course and I'm playing and I need water, it's always there. And that sponsor has been with me since the very beginning.
That's such an interesting technique.
Yeah.
What made you go with water from the tap?
Well, I tried soda for a while, Mountain Dew specifically. Whenever I felt dehydrated, I would just chug a Mountain Dew. And interesting side effect, passing out on hot days in the middle of a field where there's a lot of sun. Really, they don't put that on the bottle, So I had to drop them as a sponsor. Plus,
Okay.
I had to pay for them. And, what kind of sponsor do you have to pay for anyway? So,
Yeah, it's so awkward.
yeah.
Your folks at home, they've been blowing up Twitter and the Facebooks and, the Instagrams. What would you say to people like them? They want to know, how do you chill?
For friends and family specifically, I would just like to shout out, get the fuck off my back. I am so sick from hearing from you. I don't ever want to speak to you again. I thought that I made that clear last Christmas. And you can all go to hell.
Awesome. Such sound advice. We'll be getting back to our followers on that one.
So, Corey, you've been doing this sport for how many years?
About 50 years now.
50 years, wow. And
It's definitely where I get my skill from.
a lot of people are wondering, there's a lot of amateurs out there that want to be a pro like you. What is that step between amateur and pro that is so crucial that you find?
I think arm strength
Yeah.
is definitely key. Just throw it as hard as you can. No skill necessary. The other guys, they don't know what they're talking about. All those Heisenberg throws and whatever. But and we lost you.
All right, we're just quickly, Corey, while we're waiting here on 16, is there any shout out to your sponsors that you would like to say?
I really want to shout out to green grass. Like that bluegrass horse shit from years ago, definitely out of the picture. So I got to go with green grass. I was just laying around one day, and this thought occurred to me that I just needed a good sponsor. And there's green grass everywhere. It's on the fairway, so I got them to sponsor me. All 100 trillion of them.
Wow.
So yeah, definitely working up the chain there.
That's great. And we heard, AstroTurf was looking to sign you on. How do you feel about that?
I like nature. The plastic isn't really a good feel for me, so I went with the fake grass instead. It's such a soft feel, and when it scratches my legs laying there in the blistering heat, it really just brings a calm over me.
Wow. Yeah, it's just great to hear, so great words like that from a professional like you who's just really looking for that edge, out on the field using real grass.
Yeah,
It's
brought to you by the color orange.
Hole 18, final hole, par 4, 385. Mando forcing players to go for that kind of a flip around shot, and the road, of course, playing as OB. What do you think? What do you think the play here is for par?
Last time I saw them skirt off to the right there, but looks like he's actually following the Mando and playing to the left. We'll see how that works out.
All right.
Now, these players here, being the elite level, have no problem going straight into other players' fairways, which they have shown that they're completely capable of doing.
Yeah, it really takes a level of confidence we don't see anywhere else.
Grant,
you're on.
barely skipping around that Mando. I think he's going to be having an easy birdie here for this 18.
Corey getting it past that tree, just like he was talking to us about.
Absolutely. Really just doing some gardening here, trimming trees and cutting grass.
All right.
Grant here, just going to make an easy chip up to the basket here.
He definitely chipped the shit out of that tree. And the leaf. He is really going for Mother Nature. It is reaching out and grabbing
This
his disc right out of the air.
Snyder Park here really showing its teeth, giving some difficulty to these players on their fairway shots.
Almost going out of bounds on that last shot, too, for Mr. Grant Barnhill.
Corey and Grant here coming up to the dance floor here. Really similar scores. We're going to see who's going to be able to pull. Oh, and he cashes in there for a high score. Perfect finish there on the day for Corey.
Just cashing it right in.
I believe his sponsor for this round is money.
You know, they really backed him on that last shot.
Yeah.
Grant there making it difficult. Final scores are coming in here. Corey 17 over, Grant 15 over for taking round one here, but we'll see what can happen in round two. I'd just like to thank our sponsors here, Air, and the feeling of guilt that never leaves you.
And you know who really showed up to sponsor this whole thing is Blue Air. To be more specific, I mean, Air showed up, but then Blue Air came in and just really announced their presence here.
It's just really great to see that kind of support here. So we'd like to thanks everyone for watching. Click that like button and that subscribe if you haven't to for updates. We have videos here every week, all about this great open here. And Corey, you have a lot of followers here. Is there any way that these guys can follow you on? You got Twitter or Instagram?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a paint by number right here on the screen. Mm-hmm. You got number 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the way up to 18. Just follow me there.
Yeah, perfect, great. Well, thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you for round 2. That was perfect.